Enough, 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 enough. Enough of all the Eagles talk. I'm so sick of it. I can't stand it. Everyone and their mamas is talking about how much better Philly is than Dallas. Everyone and their mamas talking about how Philly is just amazing and so good and oh my gosh, how are we going to beat them? And they're just going to steamroll everybody. The reason I can't let this just pass is because this is how everybody was talking about Philadelphia last year as well. And if we're going off last year, there's no way to just sit back and convince me that Dallas does not have a chance against Philly. The first time we played Philadelphia, it was with Cooper Rush. The score was 20-3 going into halftime. The final score of that game was 17-26. We scored a touchdown in the third and the fourth quarter. Cooper Rush had 18 completions on 38 attempts. He threw for 181 yards. 181 yards, one touchdown, three interceptions. And it was a one-possession game in the fourth quarter. Philly was at full strength. Philly had no injured players. And a touchdown could have won us that game in the fourth quarter. 20-3 at halftime, and a touchdown away from winning that game in the fourth quarter. "17 points, 181 yards, one touchdown." You think Dak Prescott would have done a little better than that against Philly? I can just say, would Dak have done better than that in general? And the answer is a guaranteed probably. Yes, most likely. But when you narrow it down to Philly, of course he's going to do better. He loves Philly. Dak Prescott loves the Eagles. Go check his record against Philly. Go check his numbers against Philly. You let me know if he's ever had an issue with Philadelphia. I'm talking even during the Super Bowl years. They weren't spanking us. We take a look at the second game. Of course, division opponent, so we play him twice. We take a look at the second game. In this game, no Jalen Hurts for Philadelphia, right? No Hurts. Gardner Minshew's coming in. I give them that benefit of the doubt. I give that to you guys. But we have to analyze here. It's not as simple as just saying, oh, Dallas didn't have Dak, so they lost, and Philly didn't have Hurts, so they lost. You have to look at how the losses occurred. The first game, as I said, against Philly, no Dak, one touchdown game in the fourth quarter. Yes, we lost. But let's go to this second game against Philly. Dak Prescott's back. Hurts is gone. Dallas wins 40-34, right? So let's take a look here. Dak Prescott, 27 of 35, 347 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. If I remember correctly, that first interception came very, very early. 27 of 35, 347, 3 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, 10 catches, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. So as a Cowboys fan, we have to sit back and look at how our team played Philly twice. We already saw Jalen Hurts. He only put up 26 points on us. with some field goals involved. Threw for 2 touchdowns, ran for none. We saw Jalen Hurts. He got in the end zone twice on us. Philadelphia, when they had Gardner Minshew, he had a better game than Hurts. Can't rely on that. We can't rely on Gardner Minshew coming out and throwing for 355, 2 touchdowns on the Cowboys defense. It's not happening. No one's consistently doing that against the Cowboys defense. That was a bad night defensively for us. But what should be taken away from that game is how different the Cowboys looked on offense with Dak Prescott at quarterback. The difference in how the Dallas Cowboys offense controlled that game. The difference in how CeeDee Lamb showed the Eagles, I don't care who you guys have at corner. I don't care how good you guys have been playing. When I have my quarterback, you guys can't stop us. And they went out there and showed that. The only person missing for Philly was Jalen Hurts. Last time I checked, he doesn't play corner, although he probably could. He doesn't play safety, although he probably could. That's not what he's playing right now. So what does that matter to me if I'm looking at the Cowboys offense? We went out there and dominated that Philadelphia defense more than any other team had all season. I don't even have to go look at the stats. I know for a fact that Philadelphia did not give up over 340 more than 2 times to a quarterback. 2 times max. Did a guy go out and throw for 347 yards on them? Zeke, 16 carries, 55 yards. It's all right. We don't need too much out of him. I guarantee Pollard will generate more than 55 yards off 16 carries come next season. But to get back on track, let's stop this. Let's stop this. I'm not here to say that the Eagles, can't hang with us, because Devontae Smith definitely went out and got 113 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns with Gardner Minshew as his quarterback. He did that versus us. Now we got Stephon Gilmore over there on the other side now, so I don't think Devontae Smith will be able to go and just feast on our CB2 like he did in that game. But he still did it. So, yes, the Eagles roster can hang with us. But how can guys go on air and just talk this nonsense like we can't touch Philly? Like they are just so much better than us. They beat us barely with Cooper Rush. Not only was it Cooper Rush, he had 3 interceptions. He threw for 181 yards, and Philly barely beat us. The second time we play them, we hang 40 on them with our quarterback. Yeah, they scored 34, but they are not scoring 34 every game against us. Their offense was hot when we played them the first time, and Jalen Hurts only put up 17 points. 2 touchdowns, 14 points. They scored 26, but Hurts only had 2 touchdown passes and no rushing. You get the point here. Philly is not levels above us. Now, I can agree that I believe that in the NFC, it's Dallas, San Francisco, and Philly, and I don't believe there's a close 4th place. But to sit here and act like any of those 3 teams are levels above the other is just nonsense. I'm looking at the scores. I'm looking at the stats. Dak Prescott carved them up. He carved them up. And now you add Brandon Cooks on that team. CeeDee Lamb's going to be better on that team. He just posted a picture a few hours ago. If you haven't seen it, go check his Instagram. He's in Paris. He's got his fits on. But I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm not here for the fits. The first thing I notice is, man, he's put on 10 pounds. He's put on 8 to 10 pounds of muscle. I'm telling you, Philly and Dallas are much closer than people think.